This question is so hard. Everybody gets this wrong, so don't worry if you got it wrong. It's just like really confusing. I think I probably got it wrong the first time I did it. So let's just look at our process and see how that might work. Remember, we're supposed to start by looking at sentence 3 and try to find an anchor word, some idea or phrase that maybe stands out that'll force that sentence into a certain point of the paragraph. So let's look. Sentence 3 is right here. Newspapers, the traditional nurturing ground for investigative journalism, have been hit especially hard by the widespread availability of free news online. So this sounds negative, so connotation that might help me, right? Hit hard. It seems like maybe it's either defining newspapers or introducing newspapers. Like the idea of that, I don't really know. I don't have a strong feeling here about like where this sentence might go without having read the rest of the paragraph. So now I would look at the rest and just kind of see, if I notice anything else. Sentence 1. And maybe the title helps too here, investigative journalism, right? It's about that. The recent precipitous decline of print journalism as a viable profession has exacerbated long-held concerns about the state of investigative reporting in the United States. So there's investigation. This is obviously negative as well. This seems to match with sentence 3 pretty nicely. Let's just keep going. Facing lower print circulation and diminished advertising revenue, many major newspapers have reduced or eliminated investigative resources. So there's a connection. And I'm going to skip sentence 3 because I don't know, if it goes there. But then sentence 4, to survive, investigative journalism must continue to adapt to the digital age. So that maybe is positive, right? We're clearly transitioning into something new. That doesn't tell me to put anything after that, so I wouldn't have put it there anyway, right? I want to keep this negative sentence with the negative sentences that kind of come before it. So, this is hard. Let's get rid of D first. A lot of people pick D because they think that this sentence is redundant, right? That it says something that's already being said. And in a way, I think they're kind of right? It's negative. It's about newspapers and investigative journalism. Those ideas seem to be, already there. But I will say this about these sentence placement questions, that the delete option is almost never right. And I think that if it is right, it'll be obvious. Like the sentence will be so bad that you'll just be like, yeah, there's no way to put this. But if you're on the fence, my advice is to keep the sentence and put it somewhere. I think if it's on the fence, then it's not redundant. It's reinforcing the point rather than repeating the point, if that makes sense. So that hopefully helps some of you. That choice D I would not get rid of it, or I would not pick it here because I do think that this is a relevant sentence and it's not clearly going to be eliminated, so I'm going to lean towards keeping it. The rest, though, I don't really know. I see why people might want to keep it where it is. However, like I said, that it sounds like it's introducing the idea of a newspaper, right? So that means that I should probably put it before the word newspapers in sentence 2. So I kind of want to flip the order here. I want this to come first. So that gets rid of A, maybe. And it kind of makes me lean towards C, which is the answer. I guess it could go at the beginning, too. I think that that's probably what I put the first time I ever did this question. I think when I got it wrong, I put choice B. And I don't have like a clear reason why it shouldn't go there. It's more that C is slightly better because of the flow of ideas makes a little bit more sense, right? We're introducing the idea of newspapers, then sentence 2 is going to talk about it, so it makes sense to put those two sentences next to each other. It does sound very much, though, like an introduction to a paragraph. I guess that this is broad, right? There are concerns about investigative reporting. And then sentence 3 is a little bit more narrow, right? It gives a reason why we should be concerned because there's free news online. I don't know, guys. I'm kind of fishing here. This is why I think this is hard, is I think normally with these sentence placement questions, we do have a clear reason why a sentence has to go where it has to go. And we can point to words and say, this is it. I'm struggling to do that here. I think it's just because the connections are a little bit weaker than we're used to, but they're still there, and we really want to be able to, as much as possible, point to words. So I'm pointing to that word newspaper. I'm maybe pointing to these kind of parts I put in light blue, and that's good enough. So if you got it wrong, again, don't stress over it. I think this is an unusually difficult one, but our process of going through these should help even on the hard ones, or at least it should give you a better chance because you're going to eliminate some really bad answers. In this case, I think D and A are the ones that are the easiest to get rid of using our traditional process, and then from there, hopefully, you can compare and pick C. Sorry, I got nothing better.